Disclosure is a house electronic duo that have been around since around 2013-ish, although they might have been around a bit longer than that, but their breakout singles came in 2013. They had huge hits such as White Noise, Latch. It did seem as though that they peaked with the huge singles around that time. They did have some pretty relatively, big singles after that, tracks like Omen, for example, but nothing really of the level of those ones in 2013. I think they get a bit overlooked by, music critics and nerds for how much influence they had on the charts. I mean, they took influence from other eras and other artists and clear, obvious garage influences in their music, house influences from their music from previous decades. That was clear, but they always did it in a really good way that showed that they respected those times. And I think their place in the mainstream helped, kind of usher and push along a new wave of artists that were trying to do similar things to their style. And no one's really ever done it like Disclosure, and I think the progression of their career has been pretty interesting. Not every album since their debut has been a smash hit, that's definitely for sure. There's some duds on their albums beyond that, but I still think they've been putting out solid releases. And it's kind of great that this EP has come out at this time, because it's a warm welcome, as if you could call it like that, or a warm reminder, that might be a better way to say it, of how good these guys are when they're at their best, because this is probably the best release they've put out in quite some time. There are still individual fantastic tracks from the last album, Energy, but from start to finish, ironically, didn't actually keep up that energy somehow, even though that's the exact name of the album. But this EP here, 27 minutes, never lets up, never slows down. It's just bangers on bangers. They do a great job on this EP of just plowing through the momentum and just keeping it going and going and going and going and going. The stamina continues, it keeps going. They are here to satisfy their lady, and it's immediate from the get-go with the track Never Enough. I mean, this track is just riotous. The bustling beat is just so pounding and in your face, but yet it is just so a complete surge of energy just rushing through your blood, through your veins. This track is just a pumper, honestly up there with their best stuff ever, and I think that is pretty high praise, because like I say, I think when they're at their best, they are really, really good. In My Arms has a classic house feel to it, some nice vocal samples as well, they're pretty warm. The rattling beat is great, it really just sounds very indicative of, perhaps 90s house, or maybe even early 2000s, which they're no stranger to, kind of pulling from anyway, so it makes sense that a track like this would appear on this EP. Happening is funkier, there's a great rhythmic feel to this one, it kind of adds a nice change of pace, but obviously the momentum is continuing. But I like this one because although it's not as bangerish as the first track, it offers a nice kind of groovier feel to it. Like, again, changes the pace but keeps the momentum going. It's cool, and something tells me that's exactly what they were trying to achieve with this EP. In fact, it wouldn't even have surprised me if they did the thing where each song kind of segues into the next track for every song. I mean, they don't do that, but I could totally imagine this EP doing that, because it kind of feels like it's all just one long kind of track that's just keeping you going, keeping you waiting, keeping you ready for the next thing. I like the atmospheric tones of the next track as well. I think this track just kind of embodies and exuberates classic garage stuff. This track, Another Level, really is indicative of the latest Kessler EP as well, which I did review relatively recently. Hopefully you did watch that review as well, because I think if you are a fan of this EP, you've got to check out Kessler, because I think they are both doing similar things with this track in both of their music. They're just managing to create this cool atmosphere while also showing their influences pretty clearly. Yeah, both these tracks have parallels to one another, and I think that's kind of cool. The final track has these nicely laced in vocals, which kind of add to the kind of overall theme, I guess, of seduction. They do sound quite seductive. They do sound quite like, ooh, yeah. It brings back the funk from the mid section of this EP, and yeah, like I say, just really fun, really energetic EP. Honestly, just 5 tracks, no time wasted, no filler, I guess you could even say. Not just literally nothing, just them kind of rolling through with the best they have to offer, and I think it's great. Sure, when they bring in big vocal features, they also kill it as well on occasion. They have done for many years, but when they're just kind of going for it and just giving us this high energy, I think they are truly onto something great. Their influences are clear. I think you'll probably hear this EP and go, oh, I've heard stuff like this before, but I don't really mind too much if they are showcasing their influences in a pretty clear way. I still think the music is great, and that's all I'm here for, really. So yeah, this is definitely one of the best EPs of the year. I'm actually stumbling upon many EPs that I could consider EP of the year at this point. There's a nice, hefty list of EPs that I am really enjoying this year. It's going to be tough to sort of sit down and rank my EPs at the end of the year. Maybe even tougher than ranking the albums, honestly. Maybe we'll see as the year rolls on if there's any more EPs that come out. But yeah, there's a lot of good EPs right now. And yeah, this is a great listen. This is up there with one of the best I've heard this year. Hopefully you agree. Thank you for watching. Let me know your thoughts in the comments if you have heard it. If you haven't already, do check it out. Thank you for watching. Have a good day and goodbye.